Hi everyone, I am Shubham, and I was working on the project Community Support through AI, where I developed a chatbot for Mifos users and implementers to help and improve the understanding of the code base. So to start off, I will briefly walk through the work done that was done before the midterm. So my initial focus was on comparing the RAG technique and fine-tuning to compare the best use case. So after researching multiple papers and articles, I concluded that RAG would offer the best performance at a lower cost. So for that, I collected the data from Slack channels and GitHub repositories for the optimal usability. So for the code files, I utilized Gemini API to automate code commenting, which enabled the chatbot to have a better understanding of the code files and the functionality of the code. So once the groundwork was done, I moved on to developing the RAG application using a small dataset from the Mifos web application. So I ensured that this code was modular so that we can improve it as we go on in future. Then next on, I focused on experimenting with various different vector embeddings, and I tested different types of vector embeddings like the OpenAI TextMall and ADA V2, and I evaluated them on the basis of their performance and accuracy. I also tested the optimal chunk size, which will help to balance the performance and resource uses. I also learned more about guardrails, which will help prevent hallucinations in the chatbot. Now, for the after the midterm part, so during this time, OpenAI released a new model, which was the GPT-4o Mini, and which I found out to be more cost-effective and better performing than what we were using earlier, which was GPT 3.5 Turbo. This model greatly enhanced the chatbot's ability to handle the multi-file query, allowing us to have knowledge of different files like HTML, Markdown, and plain text. Then I integrated ChromaDB, which is a vector database that enables the session persistence. This allows us to save and load the vector database between sessions so that we don't have to create them again and again when the chatbot is restarted. One of the blockers which I was facing is that the chatbot was struggling with queries which required context from multiple files. So to address this, I read many research papers and articles and experimented with various chunking strategies and metadata tagging to enhance the chatbot's comprehension. I also introduced inline comments in the code, which helped the LLM to further understand the complex structure of the code files. Then finally, for the deployment part, I explored various tools and platforms, and ultimately I selected Hugging Face and Gradio, which are both open source and provided resources for the current need, as well as also have some room for future expansion. Also, one of the major advantage of using this is that the bot can be integrated into WordPress directly with some simple commands if the need arises so. Then finally, made a report which mentioned the work done, the technical details, the tech decisions which I have taken, along with the reasoning and an example uses for the bot. The report also mentions the future steps and the recommendations. So for the future work, the implementation of various techniques like various advanced RAG techniques like agents, ensemble retriever, and parent document retriever can be done. These techniques would help optimize the output further. Also, we can optimize the time for having a faster response time in using the retrieval mechanism. Also, we should continuously update our database with new documentation as more and more contributors join and the code base keeps on changing. We should also incorporate advice from user feedback so that the chatbot can improve further. Now, I would like to show a demo. So this is the Mifos web app chatbot. And let's suppose some person wants to write a query and he wants to know about uh, which component is responsible for handling loan applications. So let's suppose a person wants to ask this question. And as you can see, the chatbot is able to respond correctly. And it also shows the location where it is present so that the person can look into it further. Also, like let's suppose then further, the person wants to add a new test file to this. So the person asks, how can I add a new test for the for the loan application component. So now further, if person wants to ask more about this, the chatbot gives a very detailed answer to how as to how this feature can be implemented. And similarly, this was for Mifos web app chatbot, and the Mifos wallet chatbot has been created, the Mifos mobile chatbot has been created, and the Mifos Android client chatbot has been created. So this was from my side, and I would like to thank everyone, especially my mentors, and to you, Ed, also. So thank you. This was from my side.